Alrighty, well, let's get started today. I guess first and foremost, hello. It's unfortunate that I can't meet with everyone face to face, but under the circumstances, I'll run through today's meeting. I want to introduce myself. My name is Tyler Kent. I grew up in Michigan. I grew up in a small farm community called Olivet, which is just south of the Lansing area. I grew up on a small family farm. I grew up on the farm, and we farmed roughly 300 acres of grain, and we had feeder cattle as well as hogs. Ran behind the feeder cattle. Participated for 4-H for 11 years, the Calhoun County Fair. Had a great time doing that, showing feeder calves. Graduated from Ferris State University in 2005 with public administration degree, and soon after I applied for a job down in Valparaiso, Indiana. I took the position of the assistant city planner back in beginning of 2005. I was there for 15 years. Sat as the assistant planner, and then a year after that I became the transportation manager, where I oversaw the development of the V-Line, which is a local interurban service that provided transit service to the residents of Valparaiso. Got that up and running in 2006 or 7. Year after that was started, they asked that I begin a service from Valparaiso into downtown Chicago. What we did is we realized that there were quite a few people that were living in Valparaiso, commuting every day to Chicago. From an economic standpoint, we looked at finding ways to bring jobs to Valpo. One of the easiest ways is to move those people back and forth from Valparaiso to Chicago, rather than bring new business to the Valparaiso community. It's tough to do, but it's easier to provide that transportation. So in 2007, we started that service with 2 motor coach vehicles. Those are 53 passenger coaches, similar to what you see like Greyhound. When I left the city, we had 5 buses running to and from downtown Chicago. I expect they'll be providing or adding in either at least 1 more bus, if not 2. I think they're all shut down right now with the coronavirus issue at hand, but it's been a great economic stimulus for the city of Valparaiso. I'm married. I just married my high school sweetheart, and we have 2 children, Alex, who is 7, and Ella, who is 5. They are actually home right now on spring break, which it looks like it's going to be an extended spring break with the coronavirus issues. So they're at home now, trying to keep them entertained. And I'm sure it's going to be quite challenging over the next month or so in doing that. But we're excited to be back in Michigan, excited to serve the MACC area. It's been a dream of mine to move back to Michigan, and now I get to do that. So I look forward to working with you and meeting with you each at some point, have face-to-face discussion so that we can build that relationship. So that being said, I'd ask that we go around. Carolyn's going to do a voice roll call for today's meeting. The state of the state of Michigan recently passed Executive Order 2020-15, which allows for us to conduct public meetings by teleconference or video conference. So there's some guidelines that we have to meet in order to do so. So we need to explain the reasoning why we're conducting this meeting by phone call, and that is because of the coronavirus, COVID-19, and that today's meeting is being recorded, so that information will be posted on our website. We hope to be able to at next month's meeting, assuming that that we're going to be still working from home or a video conference next month. So we hope to have that information sent to you in advance of that meeting, so that we can make sure that everyone can join the meeting by video conference. Caroline, would you please do a roll call, voice call for our meeting today, please?
I will. Okay, we're going to start off at the top with David Vangenhoven.
I am present. Here.
Thank you. Hannes Myers Jr.
Present.
Thank you, Hannes. Pankaj Rajadiaksh.
Present. And nice job, Carolyn.
Thank you, Pankaj. Let's see. Terry Nienhuis. Terry Nienhuis?
I believe
All
Terry's in Florida.
Perfect. Howard Bauman Jr.
Present.
Joe Bauman.
Here.
Tom Bird.
Here.
Nathan Box. Ken DeWeert.
Present.
Thank you. Linda Howell.
Present.
Jerry Hunsberger.
Present.
John Kleinhexel.
Present.
Kevin Kleinstra.
Present.
Don Mail. All right. Glenn Nykamp. Jim Story.
Here.
All right, Jim is here. Do we have someone just call in?
Don Mail.
Thanks, Don. All right, next on our roll call. That is fine. Let's see. We have Elisa Hookwater.
Present, filling in for Russ Tesla.
Thank you. Todd Walters. Okay. Any from the board that I have missed, and then I will move on to others. Okay. Tyler Kent from the MACC.
Here.
Present. Yeah. Mara Garricky.
Present.
Kelly Goward.
Present.
Carolyn Alsted, myself, present. Rob Vink.
Present.
Judy Vischer.
Present.
Jim Kaminga, I know, is present as well.
Present.
Tyler Kent, MDOT.
Here.
Any others?
Aaron Dawson, Federal Highway.
Thank you, Aaron. All right, any others present? Okay, we'll call that a wrap.
All right. Thank you, Carolyn. Let's see. Next on the agenda is the approval of the February 24th, 2020 minutes. Are there any amendments?
I make a motion to approve. That's Kevin Kleinstra.
Thank you, Kevin. Second? Who made the second? Who seconded the motion?
Jim Story.
Okay, thanks, Jim. All right, all in favor? Say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. All right, minutes are approved. Thank you. Public comments. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak? All right, seeing none, we will move on to environmental programming. Kelly, want to update us, please?
Thank you. I did send out via email, and I posted on the website a few slides to just outline what I wanted to talk about today. So hopefully you all received that. So I just wanted to run through some grant applications that we either submitted or are working on. So the first one is a new program this year from the EPA through the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative called Trash Free Waters. So it's a new initiative to do trash removal in Great Lakes communities. which includes both kind of community cleanup removal using volunteers, and they also had some funding available for kind of mechanized systems to put in river mouths. So we decided to write a proposal to do the community cleanup, and we put together a team of 7 partners, the Outdoor Discovery Center, Hope College, both the Ottawa and Allegan Conservation District, Ottawa County Parks, and the Kalamazoo River Watershed Council, to kind of cover the shoreline through Ottawa and Allegan County. So we were able to identify 21 beach locations, 4 rivers within the 2 counties that we are intending to do cleanup events at. Certainly the Great Lakes levels may have an impact on that this year. We'll have to see how many beaches are actually accessible to clean up. But then there's something else that this grant would allow us to do is to get funding for large debris removal, and that's where the Ottawa County Parks comes in as a partner. They have some fairly significant amounts of large debris that have washed up at the historic Ottawa Beach and then Olive Shores, and primarily, treated lumber from decks and stairs that have washed away. So we did request just over $169,000 in grant funding, and then all of the match would be provided in volunteer labor. Beyond doing the cleanup, there would be some activities related to public education and outreach to do kind of trash reduction, installing some receptacles in parks to try to, reduce the source. There had intended to be a fairly quick turnaround time on this. We're expecting notifications in April. I haven't heard that, current situations have made any modifications to that time frame. So if successful, awards would happen in May, and we'd be able to start hopefully in June. Ottawa County Parks will move forward with doing their large debris removal prior to Memorial Day, but it's included in the grant. If awarded, we still should be able to cover that expense. And then the second grant application was just recently submitted to the Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy, their non-point source program, specifically to revise the watershed management plan. They don't always have this funding available, so I figured we should take advantage of it while it is available. Our plan was approved in 2012, and a lot of work has been done since then, so a lot of what's in the plan is out of date at this point. So when we say revise, we're essentially proposing to rewrite the management plan. There's a lot of general updates, maps that need to be updated, models need to be rerun, and there will certainly be opportunity for public input. The grant request was just over $164,000, $40,000 in match. This one we submitted with the Outdoor Discovery Center as the applicant and the MACC as a subcontractor. Both of our organizations requested 75% of our expenses from the grant and are providing 25% as match. We're also asking for funding to hire a consultant to do a geomorphic study. That's a fairly significant portion of the grant funding, and a really, important to guide the management decisions that we make, especially when it comes to the stream bank work. And then we also put in the Grand Valley Annis Water Resources Institute as the sub-awardee to produce updated land use information and then conduct a public education survey. The timing on this is a little nebulous. The state will make notifications once they know that they've received the money from the federal government. So who knows when that will be, but I think they were anticipating this to be able to start October of this year. And then the third grant is one that we're currently working on. We have not submitted it yet to the Great Lakes Commission. and this would be funding to do some more stream bank stabilization work. We do have 3 grants right now from the Great Lakes Commission, one of them doing some stream bank work. And there's 4 projects in particular that we're looking to fund. We did previously submit these to the Sustain Our Great Lakes program earlier this year and found out last week that we were not invited to submit a proposal. So this is kind of a backup funding source for these projects that we pretty much have a lot of the groundwork done. Not all of them are engineered. They're in various stages. But this would be a joint partnership between the MACC, Ottawa County Parks, and the Outdoor Discovery Center. We can request up to $200,000 in the grant, and it requires a 25% match. And so Ottawa County Parks is providing some of that along with the Outdoor Discovery Center. So we'll work on getting this submitted over the next few weeks. And then if the timing of this, if it stays true, would start in October if we're awarded. So that is all I have. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to take those.
Kelly, I have a question. In all 3 grants, Outdoor Discovery Network is referenced. Does that include Project Clarity monies through them?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it does.
Any other questions? All right, Kelly, thank you for that update. Appreciate it. Transportation programming, Carolyn.
All right. So included in the packet that was emailed out, but you can also find it on our webpage, we will be moving on to the transportation amendment section. I did want to point out that we have made some adjustments to the design of when you see a TIP amendment. So as you will see, before the actual amendment list, you will find a piece that's called FY 20 to 23 Transportation Improvement Program. This is a visual piece that Mara put together, and we will include it every time we have a TIP amendment. This just generally goes over what a TIP is, what the document is all about, what constitutes an amendment, and just kind of just shows the breakdown of the financial piece of our TIP. While most of you are very familiar with this process, we thought this would be good to add in case the public is new to this. So that's something that you'll be seeing from now going forward. Another little adjustment to design on the 3rd page. So after we go through the checklist, what is on the amendment, I have also added a piece that shows program value versus revised value. Something that we noticed is that the way the TIP amendments have been shown, it's showing you what is going to be the change, and it doesn't really show you, doesn't do a good job showing what did change. So this 3rd piece that you'll see from now on will show the program value, what was originally set, and then what we're changing it to, and that's why we have an amendment. So just to set that for you. To start off, our first amendment is for FY21. This is a project on I-196, US 31 East CSX. The amendment here is just reducing the length of the project from 4.17 miles down to 3.59. So not a big change there, but does require an amendment. The second amendment is also for 196, but this portion is Byron to 48th Avenue. The project, the budget is increasing for the engineering phase of this budget. So engineering phase of the project is changing. And as you'll see below, as I mentioned, we're showing program and revised. You'll see in there that the preliminary engineering costs have been adjusted for each, so GVMC, for instance, and then also MACC. So this is a region-wide project that is not just in our own MPO, but in others. The next one down, 84th Avenue, Gordon Street to West Parkway. This is a non-motorized pathway project that is being removed. This is a project that we've talked about in the past. It's already been constructed prior to FY20, so the CMAQ funds are no longer eligible. The fourth one down after that will be the Ransom. It says Ransom Street. It's a replacement truck for Ottawa County Road Commission. That is also being suspended since truck replacements are no longer currently eligible to receive CMACC funds. So those two are being removed. And then the fifth project and the sixth project are going to be increasing in budget due to those two others being abandoned. So because we'll have extra CMACC funds available from those two projects being removed, the MACC is adding on $32,000 to bring up our program to $40,000 federal funds, a total of $50,000. And then Max Transit will be receiving an additional $115,000 to bring up their federal share for bus replacements to $440,000. Does anyone have questions regarding the amendment?
All right. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve those amendments?
Jerry Hunsberry, I'll move that we approve this amended projects.
Thank you. Can I get a second, please?
Kevin Kleinster will second.
Thank you. All right. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. All right. The amendments pass. All right. Comments from either MDOT or Federal Highway?
So first, I think we're moving on to the UWP, but could everyone make sure their lines are muted? Is that better?
Still getting some feedback.
How about now?
It's echoey just a little bit.
That's better though.
Yeah, that's better.
Okay, so the next item is FY20 UWP amendment, and this relates directly back to the amendment that we just, the amendment to the TIP that we just made. So since the MACC will be receiving additional CMACC funds for this fiscal year of FY20, we will have to update our unified work program to show the adjustment in cost. So after the main memo, you'll see the updated fiscal amount. And we will have a resolution signed by Punkage, and that will be sent over to MDOT for approval of a revised UWP.
Don Bird makes a motion to approve the resolution number 20-07.
David Van Goven. David Van Goven will second the motion.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, David. All right. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. All right. Resolution passes. Thank you. All righty. Now, Federal Highway or MDOT, any comments or questions? Tyler, Aaron, you have anything to add?
This is Tyler, yes. Really, I don't have anything at this point. Again, a lot of us at MDOT are, no surprise, telecommuting. We'll try to answer your questions if you have anything at this point in time. It might be through email for a lot of us because not all of us have work-issued cell phones, but just something to keep in mind. Aside from that, that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
This is Don Mail. I just wanted to. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
This is Kevin Kleinstra. Actually, I just talked to our city manager this morning from the city of Zeeland, and We were wondering about the stay in place about road construction projects, and we were wondering what we should do with ours. And so I was wondering what MDOT was thinking. I'm sure you probably haven't had a chance to talk about it yet, but what would be the scenario for MDOT with road projects?
This is Tyler. At this point, we have not gotten a lot of guidance on that situation. Reading through it, it kind of looks like critical infrastructure workers are exempt from this. Obviously, you got to adhere to the 6-foot rule. At this point in time, I do not have specifics on that. It's a good question, though.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
This is Tom Bird. We have been communicating with the County Road Association on this issue. And the latest feedback we have gotten from the governor's point person referred us to federal guidance on it's the DHS website, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, issued guidance to the states for what is considered critical infrastructure. And included in that is transportation and logistics, as well as public works activities. And the initial understanding is that as long as we maintain safe work practices, that would allow us to continue to do road maintenance and construction.
Okay.
This is Tyler again from MDOT. That's kind of what my understanding is, just reading of it, but we'll probably get some more guidance at some point here this week, about MDOT strategy moving forward on that. So, and I think it's only for a month. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But, obviously it's at the discretion of our decision makers.
Tyler, this is Tyler. Have those projects gone out to bid and such? Have they moved forward that project or that process at all?
I think they will still move forward with bidding.
Okay.
I don't see an issue with that. It's just there may be a potential construction timeline shift depending on how long this goes for. At this point, it's way too early to tell.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions for Tyler or Aaron?
This is Hannes. On this question of transportation bonds, what is the position of MDOT on that?
MDOT's position, we're neutral on all of this. We just supply the data and the information to the decision makers. The money we have, it's in the governor's authority to do so, and we're required to follow through with their decision.
The reason I bring this up is, and Tom has raised this in our discussions, the matter of I'm breaking up. The matter of those bonds that were issued in September of 1980. Tom, are you up to date on that?
Were you referring to Tom Bird?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I am. Mm-hmm.
I've got a call into the governor's office on this subject, and but I would like to alert those on the MACC what I would like to see take place, and that is the refunding of those bonds that Tom Bird mentioned are still outstanding from September of 1980. I think that's right, September 1980. I think because of the, and and I know this is a question for the bond experts, but I would think that this would be an excellent time to refund the balance on those transportation bonds.
Hey, Hannes, this is Tyler. Sorry.
Yeah.
I am not as familiar with the September 1980 bonds. I know we've issued some in previous administrations, like under Engler and I think Granholm early on. As far as I'm aware, those bonds, those payments to those bonds are basically falling off the wayside. So they should be, so basically when those are disappearing, we're replacing those payments with the new bonds. And I know it looks like we're adding on more debt, but we're just filling in kind of the payments we already had, in a sense, if that makes sense.
So is Michigan 1 and Old Michigan 2 bonds paid off?
Those will theoretically over the next 5 years be being paid off from the information that I've seen. Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
I don't know if that kind of clears up what you're asking. Specifically 1980, I'm not sure of.
Very good.
All right. Any other conversations with regard to the bonds? All right. Moving on to administrative issues. In the packet here, you have the budget for the MACC, both combined and separated. Are there any questions with regard to that information provided?
The general question, the jurisdictional dues and the stormwater dues. When was the increased assessment or rate supposed to go into effect, or is that already reflected in this year's budget that started October?
Yeah, I think that some of that was collected last year. Carolyn, Mara, do you recall? Hello?
This is Carolyn. The question was, are the new watershed rates in the current financial plan? In the current budget? Is that the question?
Are the increased rates reflected in this budget?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think they are in this budget, I believe. Yeah. And Kelly would probably know better.
Okay, Kelly?
Yeah, so if you're on that first page of the financial report, those watershed stormwater dues, that total of $150,000 is the increased amount. So for FY19, it was $110,000.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate that.
This is Tom Bird. Just for clarification, my understanding was that increase in the dues was approved for 1 year only.
Boy, I didn't remember it that way, Tom, this jury, but you may be right. I thought that was an increase going forward also.
My recollection was because we had a shortfall, we agreed to increase the dues for 1 year as we developed a plan on how we would handle it going forward.
Okay, that could be. That ought to be verified.
Yeah, we'll verify that. I'll respond to that.
Because that will make a huge difference. I mean, the water side is running a deficit, obviously. That's why we increased the dues. And
right.
If all of a sudden we don't have that additional money, we're in worse shape.
Right. I'll respond to that question. And I'll bring it back to the May or April meeting for the response. I'll send an email out in advance as well.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Last week I met with the MACC Executive Committee. Discussions were had on my first 2 weeks of work. Reaching out to community leaders and starting to meet with them because of the coronavirus. That slowed that process for me, but I will continue once things have cleared, I will continue to reach out to people and sit down and discuss what their background is, their entity that they represent, as well as how the MACC can assist and help them with anything that they may have. So I will continue to reach out to folks. At some point, I'd like to possibly bring in the local FDA representative and have that person discuss what their role is from a transportation process. I know Susan Weber, in my previous life working for the city of Valparaiso, she was the FDA representative of that region. I think she's moved over to Michigan now, so I'd like to reconnect with her. And then with regard to programming matters, the community enhancement program is moving forward. The committee met last week and awarded some of those projects, and we will continue to receive some more applications for that. As the matter that we covered at last week's meeting. Alrighty. Member comments. Does anyone have anything that they would like to discuss? Any items?
In Fillmore Township, what is the policy of the other townships and city as far as are your offices open or only on demand?
Could you repeat that, please, because I couldn't hear it?
Ken, this is Howard from Port Sheldon Township. Our office is closed to the public. We have been here every day doing township business by phone, email. People can access applications and other information online. After the governor's address today, we're going to wait till tomorrow to see what the next steps are for our township office and see what the Ottawa County is doing and other townships.
This is Elisa Hookwater. There are a few things I wanted to answer. Our office is also closed to the public, and we've changed so that people can purchase tickets for MACC Transit online and by calling. But a few other things I thought I should also let you know, and that is we've made some changes to stay operational in the coming weeks. And following the governor's executive order today, we are also considered critical infrastructure in providing transportation to essential services. So we will continue in operation, but some of the things that we're doing to stay in operation, we basically took our staff and divided all staff into two separate groups, so they're not in contact with each other. The first group is working through April 1st, and then on April 2nd, the second group will step in. So we're able to continue transportation, customer service, and administration. And then you may also want to know that we're doing quite a bit to make sure that our vehicles are disinfected. So every vehicle is disinfected daily, and we've got a fogger, which we purchased, which is similar to exterminating mosquitoes, basically, and go in and spray every vehicle thoroughly every day. And then the drivers during their shift are wiping down handrails and seats with Clorox wipes during their shift. We've separated passengers every other seat so that they're reminded to sit apart from each other and maintain that social distancing. And then a few other things that are important for you to all be aware of. Our fixed routes have been suspended as of last Wednesday, but by doing that, we freed up extra drivers who are then available to help expand the demand response service. So anyone calling up and reserving a ride for essential services can be transported anywhere they need to. So that's all the fixed route passengers can now travel on demand response for the same fare. So we're taking it day by day, staying in operations and staying healthy as possible. So if anyone has any questions, feel free to email me later. Thanks.
Thank you, Lisa. Any other comments, questions?
Jerry from Park Township, a general question, and it's directed to the executive committee, I think, or anybody that can help. My understanding is that the topic of our relationship with Outdoor Discovery Center and especially in the water area has come back up, which I thought was a closed topic. And I'd like to know when we're going to, those of us that are not on the executive committee are going to be enlightened as to what the status of that is and who brought it back up. That's my question.
Hey, Jerry Punkage here. Yeah, certainly we can, Tyler just got here. A lot of things happened. David was here, then he was gone for a month or so with his treatment. What I'd like to propose is perhaps, Tyler and I can have a discussion with you in private, and then at some point, once we're past this virus issue, we can talk about it in a little more in-depth, if that's okay with you.
So you see that happening by our April meeting?
Meeting with you? Yeah, definitely.
No, coming back to the policy committee.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
That's fine, thank you.
Yep.
All right. Any other comments?
This is Punkage. The only comment I'd like to make is, Tyler, welcome to Holland. What a way to start. And not only just have all the virus going on and then have a virtual first meeting. So I'm sure you're getting your feet wet and maybe even drinking from a fire hose a little bit, but obviously you've got great staff around you. So
absolutely.
Again, welcome to the community, and hopefully in the next couple months we'll be back to our routine meetings. So keep our fingers crossed.
Thank you, Pockets. I greatly appreciate that.
Things settle down, would you let us know when it's going to be safe and when you're going to be in the office? Because obviously most of us would like the opportunity to meet you one-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll do that. Let's let things settle a little bit, and then we can start coordinating those meetings. I'd like to try to meet with as many of you as I can in your office, so I get an understanding of your background and what you do and those types of things. So we'll coordinate that. Thank you.
Tyler, this is Tom Bird. If you do a search of the governor's executive order 2020-21, it outlines in there some things that would answer the question about municipal operations. Section 4B talks about the necessary operations for businesses, including municipal support. For example, you're allowed to conduct whatever is necessary to support elections and other infrastructure like tax collection. So I think that may answer your questions concerning municipal operations. The Road Commission has closed its offices to the public, but we are conducting business remotely over the internet or phone. And if someone does require a face-to-face discussion, we meet them in the parking lot, one-on-one, 6 feet apart.
Okay. Thank you for that information, Tom. I'll pull that and send that to the policy board. All righty. Under other issues and adjournment, as I had mentioned in my opening, the MACC team is working on trying to find a way to conduct our next meeting via video conference. We've worked on it or looked at a couple of different types of methods to do so. So we'll be sending you folks some information with regard to that. And we need to keep in mind too that we need to meet the ADA standards for that. So I reached out to a couple companies that provide closed caption. So if and when we do have those video meetings, that closed caption will be included on those meeting dates. So I don't know if we'll be meeting next month. Doesn't sound like it at the Olive Township Hall, but staff will be sending information to you with regard to access to that video teleconference. Any other comments or questions? Well, I appreciate you calling in today and your participation in today's meeting during these challenging times. I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
And can I have a second, please?
Second, Jerry.
All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Well, thank you again for your attendance, and I look forward to meeting you sooner rather than later. Have a good day.